What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Glad to be back. I haven't done any shows since what was supposed to be a 24-hour live stream turned into a 16-hour, and apparently Rumble only counts it as a 13 because they cut out 3 of my hours, which I'm extremely pissed off about. But it is what it is. The only thing I can say is I'm glad I didn't go the full 24 hours because maybe it would have been 6 hours cut out of it. Who knows? But it is what it is. I'll try it again in the future when I am better prepared and when Rumble can actually handle a stream like that. So, but we have actual news to get into. Enough about me. I've been busy handling things in my personal life, and I've been tuned out of the news. So if there are things that you want me to talk about that I am not currently pulling up on screen today, DM them to me or send them to me on Twitter. I want to know what I missed. So please help me out here. But of course, to go over the things that I missed and more, I have with me TJ Rainman and Nora. How's it going, guys? Hello, hello. What's happening? Everything's happening, TJ. We avoided World War III somehow.
Dude, I was hoping, and I feel like we're not quite out of the woods yet, but I like the way it appears to be playing out. So,
I mean, I don't think we're out of the woods either. I mean, me personally, from everything that I've seen, it doesn't look like that strike that we did was actually, what was it? I don't think it actually worked.
Yeah, I heard about a leak or something like that. So, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tim talked about it today on his show, and there was a leak saying that from the initial reporting on our intel side that they had moved enough of the equipment out that we would basically the strike is only going to delay them making a nuke by a few months.
Sure. I mean, whose opinion is that? Is what I want to know.
Well, that's what Tim said was like it's either whose opinion are you going to believe? Are you going to believe Donald Trump or are you going to believe some like low-level intel guy that leaked this report?
And I mean,
and it was also initial reporting. They could have more information now.
Right. The general who did the press briefing with the Hegsa, he was saying that they're still doing the after action report or something like that or whatever it's called, the assessment.
Yeah, they're still assessing what all went down.
So I kind of feel like it's someone speaking a little too early, but regardless, it's good to be with you guys. The rare Wednesday TJ appearance. Glad I could be here. I left to go camping for a couple days. So the last thing that I saw was the Trump truth post about regime change or whatever. And I was like, oh, here we go. And then boom, no service. And I was worried that I was going to come back to the news that we're at full-scale war. So I'm glad that I was wrong in that assumption.
So since you were gone, what were your initial thoughts upon hearing about the strike? Because I was mid 24-hour live stream when that happened, and I was like, oh, fucking great. I love wars that we don't get to vote on.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Like, the writing was on the wall. You know, I knew that we were going to send the bunker busters in, and my stance was, you know, we're going to have to see what happens after we drop the bunker busters, because it can go one of two ways. It can lead to further escalations, or they could come to the table and negotiate peace. And I don't know. I feel like escalation was the more likely scenario, and so it's incredible that it went. It's incredible that we went toward the less likely scenario, and yeah. I think that the Trump accepting Iran sending those 14 missiles or whatever where we intercepted 13 of them, you know, in these conflicts, I often mention that it's like the Bloods versus the Crip. Well, you did this, so we retaliate against this, so we retaliate against this and that. And it just goes back and forth because no one is willing to, like, take a step back after someone does something to them. And Trump had to be the bigger man and let an attack happen to us and be like, okay, that's fine. We aren't retaliating against that. We're washing our hands. Someone has to be the person to step away.
I mean, I agree with you on some level, but this is exactly what he did when we bombed the crap out of Soleimani, too. They did, like, some crappy little whatever strike. We let them do it, and then it's just allowing them to go home and be like, look, guys, we're not little bitches that let the United States push us around. We went and hit them back. So it's
Right.
literally just so they could save face.
And the fact that Trump recognizes that is a part of a conflict like this and takes the appropriate action when they do it is like how many other people in power would be like, there it is, they struck us. Dude, my dog is knocking around my table. And
I'll say we hear that on the mic, TJ.
do we?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, big time.
Scoot over.
I was wondering what that was.
Dude, he's got a deer shed and he's chewing on it and it's hitting the wood of this little side table that I got my laptop on.
Nice. Well, I hope everyone's week has been going great. I'm just glad that we got this ceasefire to go through, even though we're about to go into the. We play the clips of that, Nora. So we had let's see, where is it? Wait,
Also, hi Nora.
what do I have?
Hello, TJ.
Hello, hello everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Thought I had the clip up.
See, if people would just read The Art of War, they would understand exactly what's going on a little bit more. And they would have a basic understanding of the enemy and what the enemy is trying to do. I agree 100%. The last one that they did was literally just them trying to save face. Because if he would have just accepted the ceasefire and wouldn't have done anything, then there would have been an internal regime change for sure. His own people would have thrown him over because he would have appeared weak. So Trump, being a smart man, is like, all right, look, I understand that you needed to save face. And then Israel decided to like, no, you will not. And then they fully bombed them again. And I'm just like, oh, Israel, knock it off.
Right.
Go sit down in the corner.
Yeah.
What's it called? So here, I have this clip. Let's pull it up. Go over
Tyler,
here.
something I've realized about you is that your instead of saying you always say, so what's it called? And I think that's, I don't know, we'll call it adorable.
I do say still, but I try to avoid not to because it makes me feel absolutely fucking retarded when I do. Like right now. Anyway.
At least you only feel retarded when you say you feel retarded like 90% of the day. So.
Oh, I didn't say I don't. I'm just saying that makes me feel extra retarded. Why is my window so small over here? The hell? You guys see this? Like all shrunk down in the corner over here. What the fuck? There we go. Hello. I've risen from the corner.
Perfect.
You're back.
I am back. Why? Wait. Whoa. Why did I give the window precedent over my camera? Hang on a second. That doesn't make sense. I get to cover the fucking... Look, see, I cover you. You don't cover me. Motherfucker.
There you go.
Anyway, I loved this clip from Donald Trump. TJ, before you joined the call here, I was talking to Nora about, the general feeling of what happened over the weekend, and general feeling is I don't like what happened, but like you were saying when we first joined here, it was inevitable. It was bound to happen. The United States always steps in, and Iran needing to be hit was an inevitability that no one wanted to happen. I didn't want it to happen. I don't like that to happen, but maybe it had to happen. I don't know. But I love Trump's response to it because he struck him, let Iran, do a little bit back, and I really mean little bit back, and
One.
Right, and he got this peace deal to go through. And immediately after the peace deal, both countries start hitting each other a little bit because they have like a 12-hour window before it goes fully into effect. So they're like, quick, start dropping shit before it goes into effect. And this was Trump's response to it. I don't know if you'd seen it yet, TJ.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
So it's kind of hard to hear because of the the helicopter and stuff in the background. But the reporter is asking him, how does he feel about Iran breaking the ceasefire that they're about to have go into effect? Okay. And Trump's response is great because he's like, it's not just Iran; it was actually Israel that hit first.
Good, laying down accountability on both sides.
Yeah,
we like to see that.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Like, his response made me feel a whole lot better about the situation that happened over the weekend, because he's right. Like I said, maybe this had to have happened, and here he is doing what has to be done, and then he's like, all right, I fucking did what you guys needed me to do. Let's have some peace now. And then everyone's still trying to fight each other, and he's just getting fed up with it, it seems. He's like, guys, I did what I thought needed to be done, and you guys are still fucking going.
Yeah.
Yep.
It seems like you need to sit down and shut the fuck up and just sign this agreement and stop your bullshit.
But I love even he's attacking Israel here, because even he's saying even Israel is a bad actor in this situation. They both have been fighting for so long that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. He said it perfectly.
He said it was such a fun scene too.
Well, because
I've never seen Trump this pissed before.
Well, because think about all the like back channel intel he's getting on this too. So it's not just the stuff you see out in the open; it's all this back channel stuff where there's double speaking behind the scenes too. So he's like, no, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I love the response.
Is that the first presidential F-bomb?
Definitely not. Definitely not. No.
Definitely not?
No.
I know that that's the first presidential F-bomb for him live on TV.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't think that's true either.
I think that's his first F-bomb. I don't think he's said fuck before. I've never heard him publicly say fuck. Trump is a very eloquently spoken man. He does have his moments, but I've never heard him say fuck.
Oh, wait.
Are you Google searching? Are you grokking it?
Being reported by The Independent, Trump has become the first U.S. president to drop the F-bomb live on TV.
Let's go!
But he's not. But he is not the first to be caught cursing.
Okay.
Of course, I know that he's not the first to be caught cursing, but on TV, live TV.
Yes, so he has become the first president to drop an F-bomb on live TV. There you go.
Got to be remembered for something.
Well, I think that was a very what's the word I'm looking for?
Appropriate.
Very appropriate dropping of the F-bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike his dropping of bombs in Iran. Anyway, but yeah, no, I loved the response here. He couldn't have given a better response to this, because like, what else do you say? Both sides are just being fucking idiots. They don't know what they're doing.
What's the opposite of they're very fine people on both sides?
There are terrible people on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. TJ.
Yeah, that's true.
TJ, did you know that there are NATO chiefs that now refer to Donald Trump openly as Daddy?
Is that so? I mean,
I'm not even joking.
I feel like the public has been calling him Daddy Trump for long enough now. So
to his face?
That's a good question.
Well, so here's this next video for you, TJ. From Nick Sartor, LMAO, the NATO chief just called President Trump Daddy following his F-bomb drop. 47 runs this show.
the NATO chief. So this isn't just some guy.
No,
this was fucking brilliant. I loved it. I was eating this up this morning. I was like, nom 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 nom. I love this.
He doesn't respond to it in the immediate, but he gets asked again later by a reporter, and I have that video too. So let's play this first one. So chief of NATO, and he's at like the summit because all these countries are meeting because they're trying to increase military spending and stuff like that. And they're having this little sit-down interview, and here's this clip.
I mean, we may do papers on it, Marco. Maybe we're going to do papers. I don't even know if you need them. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. They fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
I think we have to join the House Senate.
I mean, we may do papers.
Yeah, so sometimes Daddy has to use a strong language, is what he said. And he's
And sometimes daddy.
and he's referencing the F-bomb drop earlier in the day.
Right.
And I just love his little fist pump too. It's like daddy needs to use strong language.
Yeah.
It's funny because like Trump's not even talking about using strong language. He's talking about like, you know, he could say like, hey, sometimes daddy's got to lay down the law and pull him apart or something like that.
Yeah.
To continue like the schoolyard reference or whatever. But the fact that he says, well, sometimes daddy's got to use strong language, that's a direct implication that, hey, we're talking about you.
Yeah. Well, and then Trump knew he was talking about him because then he references his F-bomb usage.
Well, later one of them comes out and flat out says Trump. He gave him credit for Trump and America funding the defense of the EU for so many years, and that they need to step up now, and it's because of Trump. And
Yeah.
so they officially thanked him, and I was like, well, finally.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting some recognition. I don't have the story pulled up right away, but Tim was talking about it in a video earlier today. If you guys hadn't seen it yet, Trump is finally being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Who knew? All it took was him bombing a foreign country.
Yep,
That's literally what everyone said. Everyone said all he needs to do to get a Nobel Peace Prize is to bomb a foreign country. Well, guess what? It happened, and he's getting one. So,
I mean,
congratulations.
Wasn't
Technically, the order is off, but yeah. It was already filed, and then he bombed the country, and then that's when somebody's like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't give it to him. And then now they're like, oh, well, maybe we should give it to him.
it just shows that
So the reason they're considering the Nobel Peace Prize is because of the peace deal between India and Pakistan, and now the peace deal between Iran and Israel. And the reason they said maybe he shouldn't get it at first was because the peace deal hadn't come through yet.
Yeah.
So, but still, I don't think just because he came through, bombed that shit, and then managed to get a peace deal afterwards means that I should just be okay with that it happened. Just because he managed to pull that off, and I'm surprised that he pulled it off, doesn't mean I'm okay that he did it.
No, I'm not okay that he did it. I've said multiple times this week that, I reserve judgment until I know all of the facts and I see the outcome. But personal feeling, I was not okay with him going over there and doing that. I do not want any kind of interaction or boots on the ground over there. I've had too many friends and family members over there. They have served for weapons of mass destruction that were never there, and we've been lied to. This is the same exact rhetoric that we've been hearing for over 20 years. And I'm old enough, I remember what happened on 9/11. I remember the aftermath of it, and I am so sorry, but I'm not going to let the next generation have to go through what we had to go through if we don't need to. They don't need to be over there.
And so I don't want to ignore the chat. Shitty Gov said he is war fatigued and that he wants people to just focus on deportation and shutting down immigration. I do agree. I wish that was the focus, but that is currently not. Maybe we'll start to shift focus because I did read some stories today. There might be some big news about immigration in the next couple weeks. So we'll see about that because there's supposed to be some court rulings and other stuff. So you'll be hearing about that. So maybe the focus will shift to that. I sure hope it does. And then Eternal Spartan says he's okay with it. I'm assuming he's referencing the bombing.
Yeah.
I don't want to make assumptions, Spartan. I'm assuming that's what you're referencing. And then a Spartan says, how do you stop a bully toddler from bullying? You spank him. And I'm assuming he means, like we went and spanked
the Bunker
Iran.
Busters were spanking.
Yeah. So my follow-up question is, I've been watching Piers Morgan and I've been watching other commentators. And I've noticed that this is being compared to the Soleimani bombing, and that, all Republicans were perfectly fine with Trump doing the Soleimani bombing, but they're not fine with it now. What are your guys' thoughts on the comparison?
So I almost don't recall hearing about the Soleimani bombing until it was basically done. I wasn't aware of all of the pre-planning, the moving of the chess pieces, the propaganda that was justifying it beforehand. I just remember him coming out and being like, hey, by the way, we got him. You know what I mean? And so I don't think that there was the same level of worry because they took action. It was done before it started. You know what I mean? With this, they had to sell it to us. And I almost wonder if they had done a better job of justifying this and selling it, and it wasn't just the "they've got nukes" rhetoric, if the people would be a little bit more on board with it, because a lot of my hesitation toward it, was because this felt so much like the propaganda for getting us involved in the war with Iraq and Afghanistan. And so I don't know. I just wonder if I could have been persuaded a little easier without the same old song and dance,
Well, so the reason I bring up the Soleimani thing, my question is what's the difference? What's the difference between him striking a nuclear facility and him striking a military leader? I mean, I know the difference. I'm just curious if you guys see a difference.
Is it the scale of? Is it the fact that we were already involved in this conflict for Soleimani and we weren't involved?
Well, so I want to get Nora's thoughts. Nora, do you have thoughts on this or?
Yeah, I do. With the Soleimani thing, it was completely different. We were not engaged in their little conflict. Now, it was more of we were going to go in, we were going to come and just break it up. We came in and out like thieves in the night. And again, I wasn't okay with it, but it happened and there was no negative on our part. Obviously there's going to be a negative in every kind of war, but that one was handled a lot differently than this one. This one, there was no support for it. We're like, this is not okay. Israel was acting in bad faith. Iran acted in bad faith. Trump went in, tried to separate a cat fight, and we're the ones that are getting scratched up for it. And I'm not okay with it. So the situations can't really be compared the way that they're trying. Yes, they both happened under Trump, but they're two totally different, completely different situations. So,
yeah, I do find it interesting the way that they're being compared. I think that the levels of the attacks are completely different. Striking a military commander and a military leader, absolutely a big deal. But when you talk about striking at a country's defensive capabilities, their nuclear armaments, that's a much higher level and that's a much higher escalation. Taking out Soleimani, he wasn't in Iran at the time. He was also on multiple, CIA, FBI hit list and all. He was a bad guy. We were after him. We were after him for a while. He was responsible for the deaths of a lot of different Americans. But I still wasn't okay with the strike. I still wasn't okay with an unsanctioned military strike like that. And Tim brought up today how the president actually does have the powers to go and do strikes like this, but I don't think he should have the power to do it. And then even besides that, so Soleimani, again, it's just one dude. We're just taking out one dude. That was also a risk of starting a war. But what we're talking about, and Nora, you touched on that briefly just now, it's not just that we're striking at Iran. We're striking in, like, the middle of their country while they're also at war with another country, and we're basically coming in to be like, hey, fucking quit it. So it was a much bigger escalation. So I don't get how people could compare the two. And I also found it funny because, Piers Morgan's an idiot most of the time, but I do like what he has to say every now and again. And I just found it interesting that he's like, oh, all these Republicans were perfectly fine with the Soleimani thing that happened. And I'm like, no, I feel the same way about it I feel now. It shouldn't have fucking happened, but I'm not exactly upset that it did.
That's my standing. And it's like, I didn't want it to happen, but, now that it did happen, there's nothing we can change about it. And it wasn't a net negative for us. So I was just like, I'm kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
So what about the bombing of the Houthi rebels? Right, that was also another military strike that.
That one was fair. That was a retaliatory strike.
That was justified.
Because they had been attacking shipping vessels. We had let them attack multiple shipping vessels before we struck. So if anything, we were too lenient in that matter.
The thing that I want to say about that is that something I've realized about Trump is that when he is going to do any sort of strike like this, there is an achievable goal that when you achieve that goal you're done. You know what I mean? Like, it's there's not a level of endlessness to his military streaks. You know, take out Soleimani. Okay, that's done. We're done. You know, bomb the Houthi rebels.
But that's because any further strikes beyond that, TJ, would be beyond his war powers. It's like I said, Tim was talking about today. It's the War Act in like 1973 or something like that. It gives him limited powers to make strikes like that.
He sets an achievable goal, is what I'm saying.
I think he would go further if he could, in my opinion.
Oh, totally. But he's limited by what he can do. And
if he could get Congress to do a war, I think he would at this point.
Really?
I think he would, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wholeheartedly. I don't see him not wanting to, especially with both of them throwing their asses in the air. So, with them acting like petulant children, I'm sure he just wants to go in and whip both of their asses.
Just look at the way he lied and war gamed like the weeks leading up to the strike. I mean, and even besides that, they were again. Piers Morgan's been talking about it. I watched like 3 different episodes of him talking about it. The United States have been war gaming this exact scenario since even like when Trump was in office. We've been war gaming it for 15 years. So whether it was Trump or not, they wanted to do it. So I think, and Piers talked about it. We have so many. We see it every time. Every time it happened when Trump got in the first time. It happened when Biden gets in. They have all these things like no new wars, no new this, all that. Obama did it, same thing with Obama. Then they get in and they have all these generals coming to them and they're like, hey, this is your only option. You didn't have access to all this information. Here's what we're going to do. And then we're like, hey, you said you weren't going to do a war. Why are you doing a war? And it's like, oh, I have to. So it's all these fucking people in the shadow government that are controlling things behind the scenes, just telling the government like, hey, or telling the president himself like, here's the information we have. Here's your only option. And then the president's just like,
Yeah, I can't remember who said it, but I think it was someone who was on Piers Morgan. He was saying that, like, look, the thing that nobody wants to talk about is there are people in the government who put together these, 10, 15, 20-year plans, and, they're moving all the chess pieces despite who comes into office. And so it's not like this was just Trump deciding to do it. I don't know. I'm failing to express my thought, but it's this. The ball has been rolling far longer than just far more than just Netanyahu coming up and whispering in his ear, "Hey, they have nukes. Can I get some bombs?"
Yeah. Well, and then the brief amount of time that I have been on Twitter, I've seen a lot of infighting in the Republican Party because of this whole situation. And you have people like Luke, who was warning about potential World War III and stuff like that, and people kept telling him he's panicking for no reason. And then the ceasefire happened, and then it like validated all these people. They're like, look, see, nothing happened. And it's like, oh yeah, we should just go strike countries whenever we want, right, guys? Look, it worked out. It means we should do it whenever. It was fucking stupid. It still is, because they're still arguing about it.
It's crazy because I feel like both sides are sort of justified in the ceasefire, because everyone who's on like Luke's team and Tucker and they're making lists, right? But everyone that's on the anti-war side was saying like, hey, we don't want this. We want a peace negotiation. Even me, I'm like, okay, if we're gonna bomb it, like, let's just hope that the bombs happen and then we negotiate peace, which is what happened. So we were right in our concern. And then the neocons or the forever Trumpers are just like, see, we told you should have just trusted the man. Like, he wasn't going to lead us astray. And so
yeah, he got lucky. That's my opinion. He got lucky. He did. That was not strategy. That was literally just, hey, look, we're stronger than you. We're going to assert force over you. And look, you're not going to war, right? Cool, great. And the only reason I think Iran is accepting the peacefire, or the peacefire. Same thing.
Peacefire, love it.
The peacefire. The only reason they're accepting the peacefire is because they didn't get their nuclear material bombed. They moved it, and now because they got set back a few months, they're going to take the time, however long they can hold this ceasefire with Israel, and they're going to go build that fucking nuke that they wanted. So I
You
love
need
that
to
we're doing
read
this.
The Art of War, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. I love the ceasefire because everyone's just like woohoo, yay, and it's like, oh wait, I thought you guys didn't want them to get a nuke. Now you're just gonna let them have some peace time to go and build it up. You guys are fucking awesome. I love it. I love the logic.
Dave Smith said something interesting in his Part of the Problem episode that dropped yesterday. He was saying that like the only reason that we are not in a greater conflict right now is because of Iranian restraint, because they're the ones who aren't retaliating to a degree that would get our boots on the ground.
They don't want to. They're striking just enough to keep their people happy, but not enough to piss us off because they know they can't win a direct fight, but they will bide their time until they can.
I mean, that's definitely a potential.
Well, so here I want to read some of these comments here because we've missed quite a few. So let's go back up here. So Eternal had some good comments here. He said, I'm okay with the strikes as long as it doesn't lead to boots on the ground. A country that constantly chants death to the United States got a taste of what actually would happen if they tried. See, I agree with that, Eternal Spartan, but here's a perspective you may not be considering. Why are they chanting death to the United States? Why are they not chanting death to China, who actively has concentration camps for Uyghur Muslims? Why are they not chanting death to Russia? Why are they not chanting death to the UK, Canada? Why is it the United States? Could be because we keep bombing the fuck out of Middle Eastern countries. It could be that. It could be that we keep sticking our noses in shit where it shouldn't be, and they see that. It could be that. It could be that because we keep going over there and interfering with things that they want to do, that they see us interfering, and they're just like, fuck them. It's the same thing with Israel and Palestine, like I've explained. If you're just constantly murdering generation after generation, the younger generation that comes after them sees that and is like, oh, you're the bad guy. So it's not just, oh, they want to kill the United States. There's a lot of countries in the world, especially China. How much do you bet if you told a Muslim what is actually going on in China that they'd be chanting death to China, not the United States? I guarantee you.
But China funds them.
Exactly.
We don't.
So China
we fund Israel.
Right, and that's what they allow it because they get some help from them. But point being, the people they see attacking them are the United States. That's why they chant death to the United States. They see us as the enemy, and because we see them as the enemy, it's a circular thing. It's always a circular thing. All these conflicts are circular.
What do you think about the concept that like every country needs an enemy to drive,
Terrible.
to drive innovation or to drive, morale? I don't know. The concept of your country needs to have an enemy. What do you think about that?
No, I disagree.
You disagree?
Maybe friendly competition, but outright war, no.
Conflict is good to an extent. Conflict allows change to happen, but you don't need to be in negative conflict and constant conflict where it causes war.
It's valid.
An Eternal Spartan said, preferably nothing would be required or needed, but as a world power, you have to remind your enemies that you carry the big stick. Right, and we do carry the big stick. We're the big people in the world. I wonder. Empires do not last, and I just worry about what the rest of the world will see us as when we fall. And how we will be treated, because we did not treat the rest of the world with kindness. We enacted our will upon them, and we thought our ways were the way that they should follow. And I just wonder if they will do the same to us when we fall. Because we won't last forever. We will not. We will not be the world dominant power forever. We are now, and it's great. I love it. I love being the capital in the Hunger Games of this planet. But that will not last, and whoever takes our place, let's just hope they're kind to us, and they don't treat us how we treated others.
I've been wondering for a little while, like, when you see like the pyramids and you see like the advanced things that other, ancient civilizations have done, it feels like they probably didn't have like a constitutional republic or democracy or something like that. It was just they had a ruler, and that ruler just took over. And I almost wonder if, oh God, I don't know how to say it. I guess I'm going down like a New World Order sort of route. Like, is it beneficial for the progression of a species to have a single like ruler? Because then
I mean,
they say goes like.
I-
Do you get
I-
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've said it as a joke multiple times. We need to have one world government so that we can join the Galactic Federation.
I just wonder how that actually plays into.
I think regardless of how you feel about it, that is the outcome of our planet. The more and more we advance in technology, the more and more we expand and grow as a population, the more and more we need a centralized government. It will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I don't think it'll actually happen for the next like maybe 500 years.
And I feel like,
We won't see it in our lifetime, but it is something that's going to happen. We're going to have a one world government. It's bound to
and
happen.
I feel like the U.S. is the thorn in the side of.
No, we are the one world government. What?
No, we have the. I don't know.
No,
just,
TJ, I completely
a
disagree.
one world
If
government would
anyone's
require a
if a one world
dictatorship.
government is going to come about, it's going to be at the behest of the United States, who is already enacting its laws and will upon other countries.
I mean, that's fair. Like, I do think that the U.S. could potentially like take over the entire globe if we wanted to.
Well, the U.S. is the standard for it. Think about it. We are technically a whole bunch of little countries all on our own that are united together.
Yeah.
That's why we are called the United States
Well, we're not
of
just
America.
we're not just called the United States of America. We're also known as the leading power in the World Economic Order. So the World Economic Order, led by us, I mean, you don't get anything closer to a world government than us.
Yeah.
When other countries are having battles and disputes, who do they call 911 to? The United States is 911.
A monopoly.
Yeah.
on
So,
Well, everybody should already know my standpoint on that one. You know, if they want us to be the world police, that's fine. Just pay us to do so. We'll go be your mercenaries. We'll go stop your wars, but you're going to pay us, and you're going to pay us handsomely to do so.
you know,
And then
Nora,
when
I'm
we
fine
go
with
in
that.
and we set peace, and y'all start fucking up, we can go back in and kick your ass because you negated on the peace agreements.
Nora has convinced me. I think we need a new branch of military. It will be known as the USPD, United States Police Department. We'll just send it in and just fucking start rounding people up for you.
We'll kick everybody's fucking asses.
Yeah, we'll just come in full riot gear. We'll have those like militarized trucks with hoses. We'll just start hosing people down. We'll get them.
Like
for
I
you.
said,
I'm down for it.
if they want us to go play proxy and go play in their little wars, then fine, so be it. But you're gonna pay us, and you're gonna pay us handsomely for it.
And so, Eternal Spartan has a good question I would like to ask to the panel here. How bad would the wars in the Middle East be without the United States? He says that we keep it in check and they hate us for it. And he also goes on to say that he's not ignoring the horrible WMD lies from the Bush and other presidents. So he's basically asking, what would the Middle East look like if we weren't intervening? Would they be a conflict with each other? And my opinion, I'll go first. My opinion, Eternal Spartan, is that I don't know. I don't know what it would look like, but the assumption is that they would fight each other, and I don't care. They can go fight each other. If they want to go destroy each other, go ahead. I don't care. A lot of people say that they'll just go destroy each other, so why are we intervening in that? Israel can just step to the side and let them go fight each other.
So I almost think that, follow me on this, I almost think that there would be less conflict today if the U.S. was not getting involved, because I think that conflicts of the past would have resulted in one side being wiped out, which would mean that one group would control the whole area. And so, there wouldn't be, you might have civil wars for uprisings to, try and take over who has control of the government that has taken over all of this area in the Middle East. But yeah, I think that without U.S. intervention, shit would have already been solved.
I don't know if shit would have been solved. They've been fighting for over 1,000 years. We haven't been around that long. So honestly, I believe that they would still be fighting amongst themselves. I believe Israel would not have been even considered to be a state. I also believe that these wars would probably be a lot more bloody and violent because they would go and fight each other physically versus with all of these weapons, because they financially didn't have the capabilities of doing this until other powers from around the world, i.e. us, China, Russia, started feeding them money and giving them weapons. And then they started blowing each other up and started blowing up other people. And I'm just like, this
So
would
if we had just stayed out
still
of it,
continue.
if we had just stayed out of it, there wouldn't be much of a difference other than we wouldn't be involved.
Israel wouldn't be there.
Israel
Well,
wouldn't be there.
that
And we
and Israel wouldn't
involved.
be there.
Israel probably wouldn't be there, but again, so let's say tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow Israel stops all of their expansion. They stop fucking with all these Middle Eastern countries. The United States stops sending in all this shit. What happens going forward? Tensions would be tight for a little while, and then Iran would probably start combating the other fucking Middle Eastern countries around them because they're not friends with each other.
Yeah, my only counter to Nora's argument is that I feel like in today's day and age, with the types of weaponry and stuff that we have, like if the U.S. and other larger countries aren't feeding the Middle East with all the weaponry, eventually they would find out how to make them, and they would ramp up production. And I think that it's much easier to conquer a different country now than it was, 500 years ago or something like that. And so, I don't know. I feel like I go back to thinking that everything would just be solved already because of the technological advancement that allows a superior power to conquer a inferior power.
Colonel Spartan says the Middle East has been warmongers against the whole world for centuries. I think this is the most tame time in history because of the United States and allies. Shittigov also said that the Middle East is ran by warlords or warlords turned out barons. Boosh says hello, Boosh. Yes, hello to everybody in the chat. I didn't say hello today. Spartan, Shittigov, killing it. Rage Flowers, Boosh, all you guys. Thank you guys for chatting in the chat.
The boys are here.
Boys are here. Boys are back in town. Shittigov said oil barons. Killing a Sense said sorry, not sorry, but if you've been fighting a war or wars with relatively the same countries for over 100+ years, you suck at fighting. I said what I said. I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. Should we really be worried about going to war with these people that can't end a conflict after 1,000+ years? I'm just saying. The only thing we should be worried about is a prolonged war, not a destruction of our country. Anyway, let's see. Nora stepped away.
Just think about best case scenario, and if this ceasefire holds and peace negotiations are signed, and it creates, I know that you believe that 3 months they're gonna make another nuke or whatever, but let's fantasize.
No, that was an exaggeration.
I know, but
yeah.
What
I'm saying is they're biding their time until they could build up their military strength because they know they can't fight us. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hypothetical with me real quick. What if this 1,000-year conflict is ended through these peace negotiations, and the U.S. striking the nuclear facilities and them getting their last little bit of aggression out? What if this creates an extended period of peace between these two countries? It'd be remarkable, as unlikely as it is.
Well, so it's interesting, TJ, that you say that, because I actually do believe that we will be seeing a long period of peace. But the reason I think we're going to be seeing a long period of peace is because Iran realizes that they are technologically unmatched, not only against Israel, but even more so against the United States, and they will build up their military. I think they'll build up their military and they'll build up their weapons until they can attack us. Which is why I think it's so funny, all these people that are like, no boots on the ground, no this, no that. I'm actually more of the opinion of what Stork says. If we're going to go in, you fucking go in and you make sure they don't have capabilities ever again in the future. But what this shit that we're doing now, we're just building them up to have resentment in the future. Just like China. China plays the long game. China's not attacking us right now. They do covert ways of attacking us, like sending in fentanyl and all these other illicit means of fucking with our politics, fucking with our elections, buying off politicians. They do all these covert means of fucking with us because they know they can't combat us directly. And I think we'll start to see more and more of that from Iran. You know, it wouldn't be so bad. It wouldn't be so bad if we weren't just going around fucking with people all the time. They wouldn't want to do these things. But yeah, sure, we might have peace in the meantime. But I think it's just going to build up a lot of resentment in the future. I mean, China's been playing the long game, like I was just saying. They're building up their military. They're doing covert ways of fucking with us, so that way in 5 to 10 years from now, they're the dominant power. They're playing the long game. And I think Iran will start to play that long game too, especially after seeing our capabilities.
So my only counter to that is that you know, these trade agreements that Trump is doing in the Middle East, all the negotiation that he's been doing with all of these other countries, like he's creating an environment for prosperity, but you know, between all of these different countries. And I almost think that if there was a level of prosperity that came to Iran because of some sort of negotiation, that the need, you know, that resentment wouldn't be felt because people would have nothing to resent us for. You know, does that make sense? Like, if life's good, then why do you need to, you know, go to war against your neighbors?
For religion, DJ.
Fair.
If your book says to, then yeah.
Yeah, that's completely valid.
But it's not just their religion that says that they have to do that. So.
What else is it?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm saying it's not just their religion. I'm saying there's other religions.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
yeah, like the Jews.
Oh, are you turning into the Jews guy?
I'm not turning into the Jews guy. I'm turning into a realist who sees all of these disgusting people for what they are. Well, all sides are evil. It just depends on who you want to justify.
Yeah, they're very terrible people on both sides.
Very terrible people on both sides. Some say some of the worst people on both sides.
I don't know if it's true, but that's what people tell me.
What the fuck was I gonna? I was gonna look up something. Forgot.
I apologize. I've kind of derailed us into theoreticals and hypotheticals and.
No, I've enjoyed the show. We've had a good conversation today. That's what I was looking for. Let me go ahead and we'll play this clip before we jump on to the next story. So this was Donald Trump's response to being called daddy.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Mark Rutte.
Dude, that's like that seems like
Please,
AI.
somebody clip that.
Dude, that's like AI.
Oh my god, I love it.
I just love that it's real.
Dude, we definitely are living in the most entertaining timeline.
I don't know if we can say that. I think we like to say that, right? But just imagine the absolute buffoonery in like 1800s if you had a video camera.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Now all the people get to see every moment, so that's a fair point.
That's what I mean. Like, we think we live in the most entertaining time, but that's because we get to see everything. Like, who knows what kind of shit they were up to back then? Especially when there's nothing fucking going on, you know? There was probably some wild shit going on.
Oh, yeah. Well, before video cameras could record everything, kids actually were kids, and we did some fucked up shit.
Well, that, and it was everyone's word against everyone else's words. But now you have a video camera and be like, look, bitch, I got you on camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, let's see. What story do I want to jump to? Bitch. Anyway, let's see. Nora, I know you did research in it. So I don't want your research to go to waste. Let's talk about some Diddy stuff.
All right.
TJ, I don't know how much you know about this Diddy stuff. Nora is my Diddy correspondent, so she's gonna give us the lowdown on this.
Cool.
Okay, so
No pressure.
did he still a worthless piece of shit? Regardless of what charges may or may not be dropped, they are dropping it for basically for time, and some of the things that they're saying don't fit exactly the crimes. Yes, he committed crimes, but they don't exactly fit their strict definitions of these specific crimes, so they have to drop them from that. The defense rested today and didn't call anybody for any witnesses or anything like that. They're trying to make this a little bit faster of a case because it is being drug out. They are also right now debating, the jurors are debating when consent stopped and when consent was actually given, because there are text messages going back and forth. They're also trying to figure out if the Mann Act is going to apply or not. And for those who don't know what the Mann Act is, that is taking a person over state lines to for the results of prostitution. So basically that's one of the sex trafficking things that they're trying to do is they brought male prostitution and female prostitutes, they brought them over state lines to engage in sexual acts. And so Diddy's lawyers are coming out saying, oh, no, they were just paid for their company. They weren't paid for sex. They were just paid for their company. And that's not illegal.
I feel like
So-
it's the excuse that anyone who gets charged with prostitution would use. Like, has that worked in the past?
Not really, no. But that's what they're trying to go on right now. And they're also trying to say that everybody was consenting. But see, here's the part of consent. Consent can be taken away at any point in any time, and you have to listen because, again, it's called consent. And if consent is revoked, it is no longer consent.
Yeah, but what if you gave me
So-
consent to handcuff you and like tie you down somewhere?
But that's the thing. You say, hey, you can do that. But as soon as I say, okay, I'm not cool with this no more, you need to stop.
But what if that was
That
a
is-
part of the role play and you didn't say the safe word?
That again, there are ramifications. There are preliminary things that need to be met. And in the eyes of the law, consent can be revoked at any point in any time. So whether the other party realizes that the consent was revoked or not, that is what they need to prove. But
There's also
one side is saying that there was consent. The other side was saying the consent was revoked.
So from because you've been following, out of everyone I know, you've been following this case the most, and from everything you've seen, do you think he's gonna get convicted on some of these, or do you think he's gonna get out?
Oh no, I honestly think he's going to get convicted on some of them. There's, if you've seen him beating Cassie's ass, there's no fucking way that piece of shit's getting off.
I haven't seen that.
Is that the hotel hallway?
She tried to get the fuck out. She tried to leave, and she was like going to the elevator, and he comes out in a bathrobe and grabs her by her hair and rips her back, punches her in the face, and then proceeds to drag her by her hair while she's holding on, kicking, trying to get away from him.
Jesus.
And he drags her and throws her back into the fucking room. I'm sorry, but no level of sexual gratification is worth that. And that, to me, watching that, I was like, that's not consensual.
No.
She's trying to get a fuck away, and he's not allowing it to happen.
And they're trying
But
to argue that it
possible
is?
Is it possible to tie those, like that hotel hallway incident, with his Diddy parties and the prostitution and all of that kind of stuff? Like,
They
I feel like
are, because it's establishing a pattern of behavior. And there's multiple videos of him beating people mercilessly like that. And so again, it establishes a pattern of behavior.
Right.
So, and they've got him doing crimes, but they can't say it was to better his empire because he was doing things legitimately as well, but he was a criminal doing criminal acts. So even though he had legitimate business, it still doesn't take away his scummery. So
So what about these charges that were dropped? Do we know why they were dropped?
Yes, because some of them, one of them was the racketeering charge. They can't do it because he had legitimate businesses. Even though he's an asshole, he's a criminal. Those criminal acts that he was doing was not part of his company, so they can't call it racketeering. So the racketeering is dropped. There was another one
for prostitutes as a part of his company expenses. Is that what
I don't know
heard?
how.
Is that...
I basically he got away with it
Are you
somehow,
saying that I
some way.
can go
That
to a-
bookkeeper is fucking amazing.
Are you saying that I can go to a brothel and I can put it down as a tax write-off?
Depending on if they have lunch or not, because you can write it off as a lunch expense.
I found out in Japan that they actually do that. It's a mandatory on Fridays for a lot of companies that you go out and get like dangerously drunk with the rest of the company, and they often sleep around too.
Yep, and they get to charge it.
Yeah, and it's all about a part of company time. So
Are
Yeah,
you clocked in for it?
yeah,
That's cool.
that's cool. Be like, TJ's like, I might move to Japan.
Yeah, dude. Sock you to me, baby.
What did Eternal Spartan said? Test it out for everyone. What do you mean? Test what out? Hold up. a minute.
Yeah, go for it, Tyler. You go hit up that strip club and then write it off on your taxes.
Yeah,
See what
yeah.
happens, buddy.
Well, you know what I am writing off is
You
my
call it a
PC.
business meeting, Tyler. Take me.
There you go.
There you go.
Business meeting.
Business meeting, and then you go for lunch, and you write off the lunch and the beers. There you go.
TJ and I had to get the lap dance. We were having a very important business meeting with these fine ladies. We had a
You're
very
at-
important business proposition.
Asking for input on.
Yeah, we were gonna shoot a video together on my OnlyFans.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Terrible. I am joking.
I hope that Diddy at least gets charged for like tax evasion for purchasing all of the baby oil. That would be the greatest way to take him down, like the mafia or whatever. Getting charged on tax evasion instead of all the other crimes that they did. Let the baby oil purchases from Costco be what takes him down.
Yeah, that's what gets him right.
Yep.
Oh, that was another thing. And he went on there and he said that it's nothing but baby oil. It's just baby oil. I'm sorry. If you have that much fucking baby oil, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, if
I was gonna
Why?
say, don't be a hater, Nora. I mean,
like could you see?
I know
them-
black don't crack, but damn.
Well, I mean, what about like, pumping up an inflatable pool in the living room and then just dumping all those bottles in and having oil wrestling matches or whatever? Like, is that like that far fetched of something that they would do?
No, but at the same time, yeah.
I heard that there were like some sort of drugs inside of the baby oil, right? And he was like,
Yeah.
with the baby oil.
Yes, there was a lot of drugs in the baby oil. The drug actually it's basically like a roofie. It's the liquid form of a roofie. It touches your skin and absorbs through your skin.
And how is he not being charged with like drugging people?
Because they can't prove it, because the drug goes out of the system too fast. And so these people are like, oh, well, I felt like this, but there's no actual chemical proof in their system. So it's kind of hard to prove.
Well, I mean, if you have drugs in the baby
Hey,
oil,
Eternal
like,
Spartan makes an excellent point. It's a free country, Nora. Don't limit our baby oil buying. Laugh my ass off.
Well, if you want to be that freaky, then go be you, boo-boo, but I'm good.
Rage Flower says if you work in entertainment, you can pretty much write off anything. That's actually probably true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, actors get to write off weird shit all the time.
I'm gonna write off all kinds of weird shit. I made enough on Rumble this year to do taxes, so
there you go.
There you go.
you know
Here I
damn
am,
well this
with
PC
a
I
shitty
got for my birthday is gonna be a tax write-off. So
Dude, Tyler, you missed it when you were doing your 24-hour stream, and I
Yeah.
donated a Rumble rant or whatever, just saying like I'm proud of you for doing the 24-hour stream.
no,
which
I read it.
I kind of want a refund because you didn't finish it, but that's besides the fact. But you missed my you missed my comment right below it where I was like, all right, now can you send that back to me so I can get a mic?
Oh
I saw that.
Yeah.
I started laughing hysterically.
no, I
That
did
was
miss
pretty
that.
funny.
No, you don't get a refund.
All right, fine.
It was a what's it called? It was supposed to be a 24-hour video. I didn't make it clearly.
Clearly.
There was no guarantee that I was gonna make it. I was hopeful that I was. I thought I would. But it's fine. You know what I told myself, TJ? Because I didn't complete it, that means I technically didn't do it, right? Well, not even technically. I literally didn't do it. So that means I get to do it again in the future.
Hey,
That means, hey guys, 1,000 Rumble goal.
Moving the goalposts. I see you.
Moving the goalposts, just like everyone else in politics. Okay. Do we want to talk more about the Diddy stuff? Because I just want to wait for. I mean, we're gonna get the what is it? We'll get the conviction soon, won't we? Maybe.
There's still more that has to be done, but pretty much I think so. The defense rest. Now the jury's going to have to go deliberate. And well, wait, they got closing arguments, and then the jury's got to go deliberate.
Eternal Spartan.
So
Eternal Spartan said, "Wait, you didn't do the 24." Eternal, go look back at my stream. I made it to 16 hours before I was falling asleep in my chair, so I turned it off. But Rumble deleted 3 hours of my stream. It cut off in the middle of Repo, and I went after we played Repo. We finished up Repo. I looked at memes for a while, and then I went and played another horror game. That one didn't work out because it was. I don't know, something was going on with that. So I switched over to Helldivers, and I played Helldivers for a while, and then I like almost fell asleep in my chair, so I turned it off. But it cut out 3 hours, so I'm not even pissed that I didn't do my 24 hours, because I feel like I would have done the 24 hours, and then it would have cut out more of the stream. So
just for the record, I was watching. You ever watch Agenda Free TV? He's a goofy looking dude, but he's constantly doing very long streams, just like monitoring the situation. Right? He was doing a bunch of like Iran war monitoring and just waiting for updates and watching bombing cameras and whatnot. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. I see that. But he said that when he was hitting a 12-hour mark, he had to restart the YouTube stream because YouTube only allows you to do like 12 hours at a time or something like that. So
what?
Yeah, just for future reference, you got to stop the stream and restart the stream and have everybody join back in or whatever. So
Okay,
food for thought. Rumble might do the same thing, which is why you lost some of the content. So
I guess that makes sense. So, well, either way, very lame. And yes, Eternal, I tried. I cut out 3 hours of the middle. How does that even happen? No, not in the middle. At the end, it cut out the last 3 hours, and it says that I only streamed for 13, but I made it to 16. So I got 16 out of 24, and then it's only showing 13. So I tried. I mean, I can go double check it. Let me see if it's ever uploaded and fixed. No, it still says 13 hours and 8 minutes. So it never gave me the other 3 hours. Joey said that it might still be buffering or it might be loading the rest of the 3 hours, but it's been 3-4 days now, so no. Anywho, let's move on. I wanted to talk about this. We'll bring this up briefly. This one here. Here you go, guys. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, because we hadn't heard this in a little bit. He is expected to be released from jail, only to be taken into immigration custody. So I just wanted to bring this up briefly because, everyone was talking. This was a big story for a little bit, and everyone wanted to talk about it. And it's still ongoing, evidently, because we brought him back to the United States on human trafficking charges. It looks like those are getting dismissed or pushed to the side. They're not even doing anything with it. So they're going to let him out for now, and then immigration and customs are going to fucking pick him up, is the story. So the update on Kilmar is that the trial is not done. They're pausing it, and ICE is going to hold him for now. The whole thing's fucking stupid.
Okay, so he's going to be held by ICE. He's not getting immediately.
No, he's not being deported immediately again. He's still being held, I'm assuming, to finish the trial, but we don't know when the trial is going to continue.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to go bye-bye.
I
he
think
needed to go bye-bye and stay bye-bye. Because
see
they
how-
brought his ass back for charges, apparently. I don't know. I would have been more than happy just letting him stay in prison.
He's facing 2 counts of human smuggling. I don't care if an illegal immigrant was. Well, I mean, I do care, but what I mean by I don't care is I don't care for him to remain here. He can leave. I don't care.
I want to see him get charged and then deported.
Yeah,
And go
because
back to what,
You mean
what's that prison
you mean
called?
convicted?
Yeah, what did I say?
yeah. Well,
Charged.
you said charged, but once he gets convicted of these crimes, then when he gets deported, those crimes actually get tacked on, and he gets a harder sentence when he gets put back in El Salvador.
So then, okay, cool. I'm fine with this. They just need to hurry it along then, because
Yeah, I just think it's crazy that whatever judge allows him to be released pending the trial, like for all the charges.
Okay,
that he
so
has.
this is why I wanted to pull it up, because this was actually retarded. Hang on. So this was Sunday. The U.S. Magistrate Judge Barbara Holmes ruled that Abrego Garcia does not have to remain in jail ahead of the trial.
How? Like what's her justification for it? I don't.
She will set his conditions of release and allow him to go according to her order. However, his defense, according to, so it just says according to her order, she's going to allow him to go.
I hope the ICE detention centers are much worse conditions than the jail, so that way this judge is just like sentencing him to misery while he waits instead of, you know, the
Comfort.
the better comfort in the actual jail. Then she comes out looking like the asshole.
Well, and then it says his defense attorneys and prosecutors have said that they expect him to be taken into custody by U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement as soon as he is released on the criminal charges. So, let's see. So now his wife is saying that it's been 106 days since he was, quote, abducted by the Trump administration and separated from our family.
He wasn't abducted.
He was not abducted. He was rightfully put into custody and deported.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're going to use bad words, but
Oh no, he's missed family birthdays and graduations. Oh no, he missed Father's Day. Oh no.
Oh, boo-hoo. Well,
Yeah.
maybe he shouldn't have came into our country illegally, and maybe he shouldn't be a scumbag who was, transporting humans, and maybe he shouldn't be a wife beater, and maybe he shouldn't be a worthless piece of shit.
I
you know,
still
I
feel
heard
like
that,
I don't know.
I heard
Maybe.
that Charles-
Just maybe.
yeah, I heard that Charles Manson had to miss a couple of birthdays. You know, we should let him out so he doesn't have to miss his birthdays, right?
He's
Right.
dead.
Well, still, the point is, when did he die?
Couple years ago.
Oh well.
well, in that case, my dad's missed a lot of Father's Days. Now,
Tyler, why you got to take it to a dark place?
well, look. To be fair, TJ, he did die 2 days before Father's Day, so
Gotcha.
There you go.
The timing could not have been better. I'm just saying. And actually, last year,
The best gift he gave himself.
Yeah, the best gift he gave himself, exactly. Actually, last year the Father's Day fell on the same day as his the day he died. So that was interesting. Anyway, we can move on to the next story because I mean, I want to see him convicted at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I know why we brought him back, but I think the reason for bringing him back is just ridiculous. He could have just stayed in the El Salvadorian prison.
Yeah, my logic is I do think that bringing him back and charging him is a slap in the face of the Democrats because it's like, all right, look at the person that you're defending. But as long as he is not like on the streets, I can give two shits about whatever processing they're going through. Like, he's going to be locked up somewhere. He's going to serve charges, and then he's going to be deported to the El Salvadorian prison. Okay. Like, just let it run its course. Everything's happening exactly as it should, and we get to see, the true colors of this retarded judge in the meantime.
Federal prosecutors are appealing Holmes' release order, among other things. They expressed concern in a motion filed on Sunday that Abrego Garcia could be deported before he faces trial. Holmes said that she won't step between the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security. It is up to them to decide whether they want to deport Abrego Garcia or prosecute him. You're the fucking judge, lady. You're the fucking judge. Just go forward with the trial. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, let's move on to the next story because we're running. Yeah, we got about 25 minutes before Joey. Holy shit, Tyler!
Yep.
I was on my Xbox playing your stream and heard that, and stopped cleaning to grab my phone. Heard what? Which part? The Abrego Garcia stuff, or what do you? Job.
What did you hear? What did
Job,
you hear?
Job, what did you hear? Why does Nora get such a small screen? Damn patriarchy. Tell her to stop using a cell phone.
Well, as soon as I stop being poor and I can save up and get a computer, I will.
No. Tell Joey to start paying his employees, Nora. Come on.
Hey, practice what you preach.
Hey, shut up, TJ, shut up.
He was
You
at
don't
the
have
same-
rights here. You don't have rights here. Who said you could speak? What the fuck?
Hey, I have 10%
Hey, why don't you two tell Joey to get on that and start paying his employee, because I'm not even an employee. I'm
Here,
technically
Nora,
a co-host
There you-
that's not being paid.
There you go. Nora. I enlarged your screen. You're now bigger than all of us.
There we go. More Nora. Exactly.
Hey.
More Nora. The chat can now complain about having too much Nora.
They're gonna complain about too much Nora today.
Hell
I'm making
yeah.
the rounds.
Are
Yeah.
you hitting everybody?
Well, part of me wishes Joey was here to talk about their new socialist mayor that they could be
No,
having.
he's not. No, he has not been elected. Joey flat out told me
I know.
he is not elected. This is just the candidate.
That's why I said could be. I said or could be. But like you and I talked before the show, is a Democrat not going to win the New York election for mayor? Is that what we're saying? Are we saying there's a chance that Democrats don't win in New York? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, if there was ever a time for Republicans to win the state,
I'm curious. I don't have it pulled up. Who is he going against?
State, whatever. Who's he going against? Who's the Republican candidate?
That's what I'm saying. Who's the Republican candidate in New York? Let's see. Republican candidate. Okay, I forgot how to spell candidate, apparently. Let's see. Oh, who just started following? Owl in the Brush. Hello, Owl in the Brush.
Woo!
We got 2 new followers today. Freaking full semi-auto, which I know from the Timcast Discord. Thank you for stopping in. And then I've never seen Owl in the Brush. That's a new one. Hello, welcome.
Owl's from the Timcast Discord too, because I saw Owl in there also.
Sweet, perfect. Did Joey or somebody share my link in the Discord?
Look at us getting the
Oh.
whole family together.
Hell yeah. And then what did Job say? Oh, he said, "Holy shit, Tyler! I was on my Xbox playing your stream and heard that shit and was stopped to grab my phone." He's talking about my dad. He said, "My bad. I had to grab my phone and get into the stream. I'm listening to you on my Xbox, so I can't type. It's a long delay." He was referencing me talking about my dad.
Look at you, Tyler. You're on TV.
I am on TV. Look at that. That's crazy.
Woo!
So the New York mayor Republican candidate, the Republican candidate for mayor in New York is Curtis Sliwa. Okay, wait. Okay, so Sliwa previously ran for mayor in 2021, but lost to the current mayor, Eric Adams. So this individual ran previously. So someone who has ran before and hasn't won is going to be running again. And we're banking that they're gonna win over the Democrat.
Man, it might be a battle of the lesser of two evils. Like if this socialist candidate gets
That's the
smeared-
issue, though, TJ, is that the reason that this socialist guy is winning is because Democrats are socialist, and this guy is promising them a bunch of free shit. He's promising rent control. He's promising government-owned grocery stores. He's promising... Yeah, dude, I can go down the list. Free bus fare. Like, he has all this free shit that his socialist utopia is going to pay for.
And the average intelligence level of the average New Yorker is so low that they just buy into the fact that that they're just going to get all this free stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna just get all this free stuff. So before you go, Nora, I loved the memes over the past few days because I've been laughing at them with my friends. And our favorite ones, we agreed as a group. Our favorite one was the one of our warplanes flying over towards Iran, and it was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, we about to show you why the United States don't have free healthcare."
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So. What were you gonna say, Nora? Because there's a reason we don't have all this free shit. Besides it being a lot of money, it's just unrealistic.
Well, if you look at the voting districts and who voted for who, they were saying that the more high-end, swankier, rich people voted for this guy, while the lower, hardworking, middle-class people voted for what was it, Cuomo?
Well, yeah.
So,
Why is
why
would richer people want socialism?
they want free shit.
Actually, interesting you said that, Nora, because it was actually the opposite in this article I have up.
Oh, well, that's not what I was hearing. I was listening to Betty Johnson this morning.
Phenomenon should not be happening if received wisdom is a reliable predictor of events. He's the 33-year-old Muslim leftist and Queens Assemblyman running for the New York mayoralty with the support of Democratic Socialists of America, and the vitriolic campaign against him suggests his momentum has caused panic in gilded circles. His chief opponent for the Democratic nomination, Andrew Cuomo, could not scream party establishment more loudly. He's the New York State former governor, just like his father was, and a former cabinet secretary. He married, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. It goes on to talk about, where was it? I remember seeing it in here. It was right here. It was talking about... Can't find it right now. The early campaign settled on 3 main messages: fast and free buses, freeze the rents, free childcare. That's so easy to remember. People know it, and it's said over and over and over again. Where did it say? Basically, I was reading the article. Somewhere in this article, it talks about how the reason he won the primary is because he managed to rally people in the working class and have them hate the rich, basically. He did the eat the rich shit, where it's like it's all the rich people's fault. So from what I was reading, it was actually the opposite.
The billionaires.
Yeah, it was that he got the working class riled behind him by basically targeting the wealthy people. And also, I actually liked this mayor, by the way, besides all the communist shit. Simply because of his answer when asked on television. There was a big panel asking about if they would be going and visiting fucking Israel, and this was the only guy on that fucking panel that said, no, I'm not going to go visit Israel as mayor of New York.
He said, I'm going to stay in
He said, I'm going to go and visit the Jewish populations in my district.
Right.
So I loved that answer from him. So, credit where credit's due. He did have a good answer to that, at least. But of course, people are saying that it's because he's Muslim and he doesn't like Jews. But it's like he just said he would go visit Jews in his own district, not some far-off country. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like there aren't enough politicians that prioritize looking after their constituents. So I can respect that answer. It's the right answer.
I may have played the clip on stream, but I mean, even Andrew Cuomo, he was like, yeah, I would love to go visit Israel. And he was talking about the places he would visit while he was there. And it was just so fucking cringy. And then they get to this guy and he's like, no, I'll go visit, this place and that place in my district. And then the reporter was just so offended, like, oh, a gas. You're not going to visit Israel? And it's like, he's fucking running as mayor for New York. I didn't know he was running as fucking president of Israel, or mayor of the capital of Israel, Tel Aviv. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stupid shit. We'll see what happens. I'm honestly not surprised by this. I mean, this is the direction the Democrats have been going in forever. Are either one of you surprised that we're seeing this from New York? I mean, this seems pretty on point.
I'm not surprised. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not mad.
It's one of those moments. I kind of expect it, but I
just hope that it doesn't. Yeah.
See, I knew that this was going to happen. This candidate was probably going to do it, and Cuomo doesn't have the power behind his name anymore.
Well, that, and especially
So-
after COVID, after we did for COVID, everyone
That's-
fucking hates him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. Well, him and his brother. So Cuomo, the whole Cuomo family, they do not hold the same power of name that they used to. So
That
I
was
kind
with
of
sick people in
figured that
nursing
this
homes.
dude was going to be able to step up and get into that seat. But the problem is now, now they've done the primaries, now they're actually going to do the real election part. Who's going to win? I still have the slightest of hopes that enough people in New York will get pissed off and say no fucking more, and finally decide to vote a different way.
Well, isn't that
I don't think that it's going to happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to hold my breath, and I'm not going to bat an eye, because I generally know that they're not going to. But again, I can have that slightest of hope that the people that we know that are friends there that actually vote and do the right thing, maybe, just maybe, that they'll finally win out.
No, you should definitely hope for the best. You should definitely,
Prepare for the worst.
prepare for the worst, hope for the best, as they say, right? Because it's like anything in life. If you just think negatively and you're just negative about the outcome, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, it's gonna be the worst thing ever. Well, when that outcome turns out to be the worst thing ever, and you validate yourself, you're just just get fucked. But a lot of
Gotta have
times,
a
if
positive thought, right?
yeah, a lot of the times, if you're going into something where you are thinking negatively, the outcome will more than likely be negative. That's not to say if you think positively, everything you do will come out positive. It's just it increases your odds. It increases your odds when you go in with a healthy mindset, as opposed to this fucking sucks. This is gonna happen. This is gonna ruin this. This is gonna ruin that. You're basically, you can either increase your chances for good things, or you can increase your chances for bad things. Those are your options. And if you just keep thinking negatively, you're just asking for more negativity.
Damn, Tyler, when are you gonna become like a better health therapist? That was inspirational, brother.
There you go, Tyler.
DJ, I gotta be inspirational. There's
You gotta uplift the people. I respect it.
oh no, it's not about uplifting people. It's uplifting myself.
All right, that's fair. Just keeping yourself sane.
Facts.
You don't get to be a person like I am without having to go through a lot of mental anguish, and I know about all that mental anguish and how to fix it because I've gone through it myself. So yeah.
Look
Anyway,
at you go.
let's see what
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, dude.
sometimes. Let's see. What did I want to bring up next? How much time do we have? Oh my goodness, we only have 10 minutes, guys. Frick. Tactical Tinker said,
Yeah.
"Hi Tyler, I'm here for the motivation. Motivate me to what, Tactical Tinker? What are you motivating me to do, huh?
No,
Bully."
he was saying he's here to get your motivational speaking.
Ah, sure.
Do your TED Talk. Be motivational.
Yeah, we'll do motivational Mondays.
Nice.
That works.
Tyler, today's
You just wanna
motivational
get your-
Mondays.
You gotta get all of your crystals, and you have to bless them by moonlight, and then you have to use the power of positive thought, and know your zodiac, and you can be one of those.
Oh, TJ, you better be careful saying that shit. Oh, you better be careful. I got told that that's all demonic. Oh my god. I'm so demonic. Oh.
Are you a crystal girl? You come off as
Huh?
a crystal girl.
A what?
What?
A crystal girl. Like, do you have like quartz hanging from a necklace right now or something? Yeah.
No,
I fucking called it.
I got a crystal hanging from my window.
There you go.
So before we
Let's see
transition
if we can get this over there.
before we transition to what will likely be the final topic, please, guys, we are 2 likes away from the goal. If you have not hit the like button, we are 38 beautiful people in this chat. 40 now. We're at 40.
Do it.
It just jumped to
Do
40.
it.
Just need 2 more people to hit that like button, and we hit our goal. And if we hit that goal, I'm just saying, there's a really cool sound effect that I love. I love it. I love when it plays. You can hear it if 2 more people hit that like button. Anyway, so what do you guys?
I
wanna
already
talk
hit
about?
the like button.
You should just don't be like Matt Stork. Matt Stork likes to hit it twice, and I think that does bad things if you hit it twice. So just hit it once and just leave it. Hit it twice and the world might end. So let's see. So I thought this story was interesting, and then we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about before we end the show. So I'll open the floor after this story, but U.S. military expected to announce 2 new zones where service members can detain migrants on the southern border, officials say. So yeah, it's kind of a long story, but basic rundown is that we have 4 military installations on the southern border. Well, the number is now up to 4. That have basically expanded territory so that they can go and round up illegals and search their belongings and stuff like that are within the zone of these military bases. So, for example, they just expanded, San Antonio Joint Base will now include 250 miles of the Rio Grande River. And it will also, there's the NDA near MCAS Yuma, and that will extend over 100 miles along the border. So the new zones will bring the total count up to 4 after the establishment of the Texas National Defense Area attached to Fort Bliss, Texas, in May, and the New Mexico National Defense Area attached to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, in April. The establishment of a second national defense area increases our operational reach and effectiveness in denying illegal activity along the southern border. So basically, yeah, what this is giving more power and more territory to military bases already on our southern border to go and assist with illegal crossings. So I love this story. I thought this story was great. I've been saying that we should do this for a while. We should be putting military bases on our southern border, and then we should give them full capability to handle things at the border.
Sure. I mean, and what's the alternative to having these facilities? Kids in cages? You know what I mean? Like, at least there's going to be some sort of...
what Obama did?
Hang on,
Yeah.
slow down. Oh, we hit the goal.
Yay!
I love that sound effect. Thank you, guys.
Is that the Grump birthday skull?
Yes,
Halo?
it is. It is.
Fuck yeah.
And
Fuck yeah.
you probably didn't see it, but it plays a gif of a grunt getting shot in the head when it does it.
Love it. Love it.
No, I love it too. It's my. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for hitting the goal. So slow down there, TJ, because they are still putting people in holding cells and cages or whatever. What this is expanding it so that the military can now assist in detaining these individuals and releasing them into ICE custody.
Well, I mean, like, we have a picture of this real nice facility here, but like,
Well, this is from 2019.
are the detainment facilities going to be just
No,
chain
TJ, this is a Marine Corps air station. This is like barracks for Marines. This is not for the immigrants.
Okay.
So,
Then-
and that's also from 2019. That's what that photo.
I don't know. What I want to know what the facilities are going to look like. What kind of?
It's the same ones that we've been
option.
having because they're giving them to ICE. They're not going to be holding them. The military is not holding anybody. They're just going to detain them and hand them over to ICE. That's what this is for.
Gotcha. I see.
I'm fine with that.
That's what I mean. And so, the reason this is a story is because U.S. troops are actually prohibited from conducting law enforcement activities by the Posse Comitatus Act, but the defense areas are treated as extensions of the military installations, allowing service members to temporarily circumvent the Posse Comitatus Act and temporarily detain migrants who are trespassing before handing them off to law enforcement. They can also conduct cursory searches of trespassers and conduct crowd control measures. So essentially, there is a Posse Comitatus Act that prevents military from doing law enforcement duties. But with this provision, basically, they're expanding the territory of the military installations so that the military personnel can go and police these areas, essentially circumventing the act.
So 2 things I have to say about that. One, I guarantee that we're going to see the left blowing up about how, they're breaking the law again because they
already are. There's a paragraph in here saying that.
Yeah, of course. And 2, I'll go back to saying this administration has to do everything by the books. And, if this is some sort of, legal loophole that they can do, then
It absolutely is. That's what it
matters.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter how much the left is blowing up because they're doing things by the book. So, suck one, guys.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they're gonna bitch because they're gonna bitch. But honestly, I am more than fine with this. If the military can help ICE, then awesome. Because I know when they're not active and they're not going and doing their training to go overseas, there is a lot of hurry up and wait. I am an ex-Army wife. I've seen this firsthand. I know they get there, they do their PT, and then they just kind of dick around for a couple of hours. So in their time of dicking around, if they can go and wrangle up some bad guys, awesome. Cool. I love it.
Well, and then this is I just got reminded, because we're talking about the border and stuff like that. This is a story that I pulled up that I was going to talk about on Monday, but we are going to talk about it now. So this is from last Friday. I know it's not today's news, guys. I'm sorry, but it is relevant. So San Diego.
I gotta get ready for Joey.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Have a good one, Nora. Peace out, everyone. Go
Bye.
watch Nora. She's gonna be talking more politics and stuff on Outworld Live right after this. See you, Nora.
See you, Nora.
Bye.
And then it was just you and I, TJ. Let me fix the screen.
Whoa.
There we go.
There we go.
And then mine is much larger than yours. That looks weird.
That's fine.
No, it's not. I'm shrinking me. There we go. Okay, so San Diego Sector Border Patrol discovers 2,918-foot long tunnel connecting San Diego to Tijuana. The incomplete drug smuggling tunnel, which extended more than 1,000 feet inside the United States, was actively under construction when Border Patrol agents discovered it. So yeah, stuff like this. I would love to have military installations on the border that has like technology that can like detect fucking people digging under the border. I would love that. I think that'd be great.
It'd be like, I don't know why we don't like fly a plane across the southern border that has like some sort of LiDAR technology or something like that, where it can actually detect like recesses under the ground or something like that to find these tunnels. You know what I mean? Like, it should be easy to.
That's what I'm saying. We should have military installations that just have like cemented, stations where we can just detect them digging along the border. At least in the area around the base somehow. There's got to be a way to set this shit up. Like, there's no way, right? So, this is a recent story. This happens all the time. There's constantly tunnels being found going in between the border. And this just happens to be one of the larger and more recent ones that we found. So this one was still under construction. It wasn't being used just yet. And I don't think they found who was building it. It led back to basically an abandoned warehouse back in Mexico. So,
Gotcha.
But anything you want to talk about or add before we wrap things up here, TJ, my good man.
Check your Discord. I got an image and a video from my camping trip that I want to share with the class, just because I love the way that the photo
and because
out.
Joey wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and because Joey wouldn't do it. That son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch. Okay, let me open these up. Open link.
Do the picture first, and then the videos.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Can I open the link? Oh, it's making me download it. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. I'll download your video of your dog.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, there's a picture.
Yeah, tell me that's not just like dog profile picture. It's phenomenal. Proud of it.
I'm just wondering when he's gonna get his own Instagram.
Dude, I think at this point he needs to, because I got, like, anywhere we go, I'm just taking pictures of him.
That's what I mean. When's the good boy getting his Instagram?
All right, I'll do it.
Let me do this trick that Chris and Joey taught me. I can make it to where I go into Studio. Interesting, and then I can go and edit the other scene.
Oh, making a new scene for.
I'm not making a new one. I'm switching things around in my scenes I already have. I'm not gonna show it.
Rage Flower says Instagram is evil, or evil, but close enough.
Instagram is evil?
Yeah.
Why is Instagram evil?
They steal your data. It's filled with toxic algorithms, and it'll turn the person crazy.
Oh.
Plus, I don't want to post pictures of my booty just for all the likes. Dude,
Well,
Joe
what if I
Rogan
want you to?
Then you'll have to sign up to my OnlyFans.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Here.
Let's see. Wait, can I do? I might have to do display capture.
You're keeping the people
you
waiting.
gotta make me do all this extra shit, TJ. Sheesh. TJ's making me do all this extra shit just so I could show a picture of his Doge.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Okay, wait. Now I gotta transform it. Hang on. Fit to screen. Boom. Let's move that down. Wait. Move it down a little further because we can't see. Yes.
That's the video, and there's such elegance and grace in it that I wanted to show it.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to move you down below.
I can
there we
see
go.
it.
No, I was trying to move you so we could see you.
All right, that's fair.
There. All right.
Slow motion. Oh, such elegance and grace. Soon he'll turn into one of those dogs that are like jumping 50 feet.
Good boy.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, if everyone in the chat could wish my dog well wishes. I think he blew a kneecap yesterday.
Ooh.
Yeah, English bulldog. So if you know anything about those, they got a lot of health problems.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure he blew out a kneecap. So we're gonna have to take him to the vet today. I'll give you guys an update on that when I know more. But as far as I know, yeah, Boudreaux, my favorite little smushed faced dog. He can't really walk around right now. So.
They're resilient creatures. He'll heal up.
I'm sure he'll be fine. But look at this good boy
Look
right
at
here,
that.
certified good boy.
Certified, the goodest of boys.
If you did not drop a like on the stream, and in fact, if you dropped a dislike on the stream, you're saying that this is not a certified good boy. I'm just saying, if you drop a like, you gotta drop one. You're just saying that's you saying this is a certified good boy. Certified good boy right here.
Killing it's asking his name. His name is Caesar. A name fit for a king. But yeah, that's my favorite place on earth. That is South Umpqua Falls. And yeah,
looks like a nice place.
Yeah, you can jump, like, you got like a big pool behind him, and you can actually, like, there's a part of that waterfall that you can like actually slide down like on your butt, or you can just jump off of it. I backflip right above where his head's at.
Nice.
So, yep, we had a good little vacation. My favorite place on earth.
All right, well, very cool, very cool. We went just a little bit over, but Joey will live. So TJ, Mr. Rain Man, if I can get some closing remarks from you, my good sir.
Yep. Fun stream today. I hope that everything with the whole Iran-Israel conflict kind of plays out in the best case scenario. Still think that we're not out of the woods yet, but I'm optimistic. And I hope that these countries eventually begin to understand what the fuck they're doing. So follow me on X, Tarek Raines, TERAKRAINES. Let's yell at leftists together.
Hell yeah.
I'll see you this week.
All right, and thank you very much, TJ, for joining me. If you would like to see more of TJ and more of myself, you can catch TJ usually on Monday and Tuesday. Rare occasion that he has a Wednesday to come and spend some time with us. He had some time today, but you know we were both out this week, so I'm glad he could join us today. But anyway, we'll see what else I'm doing today. I got a few things planned. I got to figure some things out. So you guys will be seeing me more later today. We'll be playing some games and maybe some other stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in with me. And yeah, peace out, guys. Where's my outro at? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. All right, peace out. Goodbye.